Hey guys, how's it going? MasterBucks here. Welcome to another episode of the Juventus career mode in FIFA 19. We are only a matter of games away from concluding the season, but are we going to come to the end of our Champions League run right here against Manchester City in the second leg? If you missed the first leg in the previous episode, we ended up getting a 1-1 draw against them away. So we are currently in the ascendancy, and we are the team that is currently in the advantage right now with that away goal. But obviously everything changes if we don't keep our clean sheet and they're able to somehow peg one back. So it's vitally important that we try to keep the clean sheet here, because right now we go into this with the advantage on aggregate. And really, this game, the last one against Manchester City away, was so damn difficult and so much of a challenge for me. I swear, if it ends up being the exact same, or if it just turns up a notch in the next game or in this game, then I will legitimately be in some serious trouble. But Manchester City are fighting tooth and nail to get to the final, and I'm going to hopefully do just as much. I'm going to hopefully hit them back just as hard. We will see as we have a look at who is going to make it through to the final in the other semi-final. It is Liverpool versus Spurs, and Liverpool actually are going through 4-3. So it could very well be the runners-up of last year's Champions League final in Liverpool going up against the runners-up of the final in the season prior to them. Juve versus, of course, Liverpool. That would be something, and that's what we're hoping it's going to end up being. If it isn't going to be us, it will be these guys, and we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that it's not. Sane, Jesus, and Sterling up forward, a cracking midfield. The only change to this Manchester City team is at right back, where they signed Mario Gaspar to replace, of course, Kyle Walker, because where did he go? That's right, Juventus. He was one of our big signings right at the beginning of the season. But we are underway now in this one. I'm really hoping that Kyle Walker can have some sort of big influence in this game, as Alexandro whips one in, and a little grazing header, but a bit too tight an angle to really worry Edison. But we were making a pretty good start of it so far. In the first 15-20 minutes, we were getting good balls into the box, getting chances from the header there. Dybala's just put his one maybe a little high and a little bit wide still. Manchester City were getting their chances going forward. 22 minutes in, Jesus crosses one in. The clearance from Sandro goes quite literally straight to Leroy Sané. I did nothing but hit the clear button. Nothing but press B. That was it. Or circle, considering this is on PlayStation 4. Literally nothing else. Didn't angle it, or obviously I angled it upfield, but that is that. It so perfectly fell to him, and Sané's reaction to head it that precisely in the top left-hand corner, I don't know what pisses me off more about it. But thankfully, or maybe, hopefully, we were going to get a chance to equalise it straight away, but unfortunately not the case. Denied by the woodwork from our own header by Dybala, who's had several chances, and now another shot denied by Edison. We had so many chances, and I genuinely thought we were the better team in this first half, yet we go down 1-0 into half-time. They now have an away goal, so we just need a goal to tie this thing up. And if they get another one, then it really could be curtains, because a 3-1 lead on aggregate, when they've got two away goals, we would have to win the game. So 3 goals in a half of football, I'm not so sure about. But Salah was through, took it with his left foot instead of his right, which is what I wanted. And then the fake shot back, maybe a small shout of a penalty, but the referee was having none of it. Header in, off the crossbar again, but this time, thankfully, it falls to Salah, who taps into an empty net. Edison went flying to try to stop it. I swear I was about to lose my you-know-what if we had gotten another header on goal that just cannoned in off the post and we were denied by the woodwork yet again. And technically we were, but Salah was there to pick up the scraps, and it's a vital goal. Massive. Ties things back up at 2-2, and now it is game on again. And we still have a little bit of time left, but we're turning it over in a really poor area. But Kyle Walker, the former Manchester City man, making a big block to keep us in the game. And still we continue on as we reach really deep into the end of the second half. They ended up just letting that one run out for a corner as they whip one in. Perrinich pretty close to him, but he doesn't fully grab the ball. He doesn't punch it. We head it upfield, and again, we don't have anyone there. They continue to keep the ball up this end, continuing to put me under all this pressure. If they'd scored a late one here, I would have absolutely died, but thankfully that is not the case. Mario Gaspar just whipped the cross in, and no one was really there, to be fair. It was just Perrin that collected that time. And it's extra time. Oh, we could not do it in just the regular old 2 legs, so we have to do another 30 minutes and maybe penalties if we can't get it done. And this is the thing about them being the away side now. If they have 30 extra minutes to get another away goal, it's absolute BS. But still, we have to make sure we can't let that happen as Matuidi looks to maybe slip in. Federico Bernardeschi, and he scores 2-1 to put us 3-2 ahead. And right now, we are the team going through to the Champions League final. We might do it after all. At first glance, I thought he may have been offside. I struck it, I waited for the linesman to raise his flag, but he never did. And Bernardeschi has actually found a way to put us in front. I've been playing him for Dybala in that centre attack and midfield position, and he has been doing brilliantly for me as a backup. Scores what could be the most vital goal of our season so far, and we were looking to end the game, hopefully, trying to get another one. As Costa whips one in, I go for the bicycle kick or the scissor kick with Ronaldo, but it's cleared before I can get to him, and thankfully we were able to hang on to it for quite a fair majority of the extra time period, but we were looking like we were going to lose it here. And with 2 minutes left to go until stoppage time, in the second half of extra time, they were on a counter-attack. All we had to do was stifle it, to stop it. But out over the back, on the right-hand side, Sane whipped the big ball in. Perrin can't collect it, but the linesman has his flag up anyway. Mahrez was offside, and that maybe could be that. We could be on our way to a Champions League final. If you look at where the person that's supposed to be playing Mahrez offside, it looked like he was almost on there. He had a foot over the line, but still, they need to get the ball up 40 Man City or this Champions League could be over. And it is! We're through into the Champions League final with Juventus. We were so brutally knocked out of the Coppa Nazionale final by Inter Milan in the 90th minute. And thankfully, we were able to hang on and make the final of at least one cup competition this season. We are into the Champions League final. Get in there, boys. We will be facing Liverpool. We have knocked Manchester City out. It will not be an all-England final. And Liverpool it is then. They ended up, of course, like we saw before, winning 4-3 on aggregate, knocking out Spurs. And this is it now. All we have to do is get through the rest of our Serie A games. Hopefully hang on to this lead of ours. As you can see, we have a 3-point lead on Inter Milan with 3 games to go. We've brought in a decent amount of cash for getting to the final of the Champions League. 12 mil. We ended up getting something like 25 something million just for getting throughout the group stages. You bring in an insane amount of cash, don't you? But this is it. Out of 3 Serie A games left to go, Roma away was the first of them. And again, have to make sure that we take as many points, maximum points as we can. I mean, there's a very good chance that if we can win this game right here, and Inter Milan, maybe they slip up even a little bit, even a draw, we could very well seal the Serie A title in the very next game. But if a disaster were to happen and we were to lose this game and Inter Milan did win, then we're tied on points yet again, and it's just goal difference that splits us, which I'm pretty sure we would still have a higher goal difference, but we don't want it to come down to that. We have to make sure we get as many points as we can over these next 3 games. And look, I do want to try to rotate and keep players fresh. Obviously, we still have a Champions League final left, so I have to have that in consideration. But for now, I just need to make sure I'm playing about as good a team as I can. I do make some changes for this one. We've got Spinazzola in the team, making his first appearance this season. So how about that? What a game to make your appearance in. And they were getting chances here, Roma. As a matter of fact, Jorginho Chiellini has actually fouled a player in the box and given away a penalty. The captain, I honestly didn't think when at the time this happened it was a penalty. I kind of just sort of was in his space. I didn't really go in for a tackle, but the referees obviously thought, nah, that's going to be a penalty, and Edin Dzeko steps up, and this would really shake things up in the Serie A title race. I go right with Perrin, Edin Dzeko goes left, and just like that, Roma have taken the lead. And, you know, we were a little bit wasteful with a couple of chances we had earlier in this game, so I knew I just had to get my head in the game, and hopefully we'd be able to get another one, but it was not exactly proving super easy as Spinazzola was going down that left-hand side. Couldn't really get a lot of plays open, but Emre Can from just outside the box really dragging his shot wide and not timing it well there at all. I was just off today after playing relatively well in the game against Manchester City. In this game, I just wasn't up for it. I had a real poor first half, gave away still a somewhat contentious, controversial penalty. It's not like I've gone in, slide tackled the bloke and got none of the ball or anything. I'm in his space. I don't know, is it football or is it basketball? I don't know, but either way, El Shaarawy just right on the goal line. Amazing tackle from Daniele Regani to not only dispossess El Shaarawy, but to keep the ball in that little space. And look at what he started. An amazing counter-attack. Kyle Walker, Ronaldo is in. Ronaldo is in. Ronaldo is in. Are you fucking kidding me? How the hell does he not get away in that situation? I swear the defenders off the ball will just close you down so easily. But thankfully Salah was going to get, or should I say Cuadrado get a chance. He puts his shot wide. They've got very similar hairstyles, you know, the afros and everything. So it's very easy to, unfortunately, get them mixed up. But Cuadrado got another chance here. A foul on the edge or inside the box. Was that continuation? No, says the referee. We are only about 10 or so minutes away from the end of the game, and a loss here would be a disaster. We cannot allow this to happen. It's not going to be given as a penalty, but CR7 Ronaldo is going to step up to maybe tie this game up. Even a draw keeps us in the driver's seat and gives us a lead on points. We need this, Ronnie. Can you do it? Off the face of the man on the wider side, the furthest to the right of that wall. They clear it away. And there's only 10 minutes left. We do get one more chance here as Pjanic off to Matuidi, to Cuadrado, back in for Pjanic, a shot. It's saved, but it's going to fall for Spinazzola. That is a massive goal. Absolutely crucial in the context of this Serie A title race. It was saved. I think Castell's got quite a fair bit on it. Couldn't stop it. It thankfully was just sitting there begging to be tapped in by Spinazzola. And he didn't just tap it in, he's fired that one in. A huge, huge first goal for him. He must have been in a couple of sim games because apparently it's his 4th for the season. But it's certainly the first goal I've scored with him. And it couldn't have been a more important one. But I tell you what, there was still 5 minutes left in this. And they still could very well snatch a win here, Roma. A big slide tackle goes right up in the air. Chiellini doing what he has to do. And we concede the corner, but thankfully dealt with it. But a little later on, as we get into stoppage time, they're moving it forward. I gave it away, but now Sandro's on it. And we play a big one up the line. And this could be our final chance, maybe to snatch a win here. This would be so huge. Ronaldo's given the ball away, though. Put it too far ahead of Bernardeschi. And I think this will be it. Roma don't have enough time to counter-attack. That last chance was our chance right there. But Ronaldo's just put it too far ahead of Bernardeschi. And that was that. It's only going to be a draw. It's only going to be 1 point. And I'm pretty confident that Inter Milan went on to win their game. So it's only now a 1 point lead at the top of the table. We're on 72 points. Inter Milan on 71. Napoli are basically out of the title race at this point. It's almost pretty much mathematically impossible for them. We'd have to lose all our games. Inter Milan would have to drop it as well. It's pretty much all done and dusted for them. But it's still not over for us. Inter Milan are still coming. Atalanta is going to be a pretty big game as well right here. It may potentially be a tighter winning game for us. We would have to win it. Inter Milan would probably have to, let's say draw. That would make it 75. Yep, that would probably be it. I mean, I know goal difference would still maybe come into question there, but all we'd have to do is win this game, and we are in with the possibility and the prospect of sealing the Serie A title, which I would love to do. Because if it means we get to rest our players in the final game of the season right before the Champions League final, then that would be gigantic. But if it does, if it happens or if it doesn't happen, we just have to make sure that we just try to win the next game against Atalanta, because we've already slipped up once. I've already allowed myself that one defeat, or should I say that one game where I dropped points in these last couple of games toward the end of the season. I cannot allow myself another one. So this will be it. The game against Atalanta will be the first one in the next episode. The final 2 games of the Serie A, and then the Champions League final to come. And we will be wrapping up this Juventus career mode. If you've enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. And until the next video, my name is the MasterBucks. Have a good one.